Hello, it's Dr. Elizabeth Alter. So, did you eat out today? Did you know that on that table you on, there were carcinogens on it? So, there's always this cute little box on top of tables where we eat at restaurants. And the little box is full of these little envelopes in different colors. So, these are the artificial sweeteners available to us. And I already talked to you about the blue packet and the yellow packet, aspartame and sucralose. So I'm here to talk to you about the third worst artificial sweetener. And can you guess which color it is? It's the pink packet. So saccharin. Now, these artificial sweeteners have been linked to cancer. And I know that's hard to swallow, no pun intended, but it's true. So, saccharin, I think I had spoken to you about how much sweeter these artificial sweeteners are than sugar. So, saccharin is actually between 300 and 400 times sweeter than sugar. And the many people don't like saccharin because it has a metallic aftertaste to it. And it was one of the older artificial sweeteners. And the it used to carry a carcinogenic warning, meaning that it had a possibility of causing cancer. But the FDA took that off in the year 2000 because of lack of evidence. Okay, but and I'm sure if you think about it, the very nature of a sweetener being artificial doesn't sound too healthy. So even without evidence, I think common sense dictates to stay away from it. And the hardest group that I have explaining this to are my patients with diabetes, because they've learned for many years that they can't have sugar. So they resort to artificial sweeteners. But even with my patients with diabetes, I encourage them to decrease the amount of artificial sweeteners they take. Why? Because number one, it increases their taste for sugar. So saccharin, 300 to 400 times sweeter than sugar. So this encourages our sugar intake. And as I've mentioned before, it changes the good bacteria in your gut. So there are no limits to the amount of saccharin we can consume according to the FDA, but they still believe that it contributes to poor health, and especially the intake of saccharin should be limited in pregnant women, babies, children, because there's some understanding that it can affect the brain and the development of the brain in the child. So the fourth worst artificial sweetener is xylitol. So xylitol is not as popular. It's a sugar alcohol. So if you buy a packaged food and read the ingredients, it will end in tol, T-O-L. So it'll either be sorbitol, mannitol, and there are other ones, but the ending will be T-O-L, tol. So, but the general name is xylitol. So these are not as toxic, but the problem with sugar alcohols is that we do not absorb them. So many patients will get bloated, they'll have gas, and it's certain patients don't tolerate it very well. So they can also kill bad bacteria, which is the problem in general with most artificial sweeteners. So especially pregnant women or breastfeeding women, they should try to avoid this. And for you pet lovers out there, and I'm one of them, xylitol is deadly to dogs. Yes. So make sure that if you have breath mints around or gum that's xylitol containing, that you keep it away from your pet. So if you've been to my office, again, I talk to people a lot about gum. They come to my office and they're worried about their breath. And I've told them, well, there's healthier gum. And unfortunately, the healthier gum has this xylitol in it. So it's just an alternative. It shouldn't be your go-to. So I hope this helps you for your overall health. And again, thank you for following me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. And have a healthy night.